Hey, this is Troy Taylor with the Championship Football Coaches Clinic podcast. I have Coach Roberson on today. Last year at the Coaches Clinic, John Schumann contacted me and told me that I needed to get Coach to speak. And Coach came and spoke at the in-person clinic last year, and he was so impressive. Everybody said, Troy, he did a great job. He was talking about linebacker play. So I just want to say a few things about Fork Union Military Academy before Coach gets going. Just being a high school coach in Richmond and having Coach Schumann, an hour to 45 minutes up the road. I mean, what a GOAT, what a legend. Yes, I remember he gave me my first chance to speak at a coach's clinic. I think he presented me with a $10 bill. After it was over with, he told me he had to pay me. That was funny. I wish I would have kept that. Probably spent it. And then, Morgan Moses went to Fork Union, and they changed his life. He came back to Meadowbrook, and I said, Mo, what did you learn at Fork Union? He said, how to put my feet under a desk and sit straight ahead. I was like, yes, sir. That's a good start. And I start with that today. So, Coach, thank you for coming on. We've had a big day today, man, for the clinic and Totem Pole Nation. For those people that don't know that's watching or going to watch this, introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about you, Coach.
Man, I'm Coach Roberson, DeMarcus Roberson. I am the linebacker coach here at Fork Union Military Academy. Not only as I'm the linebacker coach, I am the guy that deals with them when you come about discipline in the barracks. So I'm basically like Major Payne. So I deal with all the discipline there. I do the military, right face, left face. So they have basically they have a hard time with me, man. I'm from Chapel Hill, North Carolina. I had opportunity.
Yeah, three of them, dude. Three of them today, man.
I had opportunity, man, to come to Fork Union, man. Met Coach Schumann, man, and it went from there. And after I got the opportunity to play black college football at Shaw University, played some arena ball, tried some NFLs, and then I went into law enforcement for like 2 years, and then I kept texting my big dog, man, and he got me back here at Fork Union.
Yeah, man. Coach Schumann is underrated. Fork Union has the most players in the NFL in the history of any school. And it's amazing to me that no college coach was smart enough to ever say, hey, man, this guy knows how to evaluate players. We need to get this guy, on our staff. But I guess he just had a higher calling, and he stayed there at Fork Union. He's loyal, and his sons have kind of gone on and followed in his footsteps. So, sometimes it's not the coach, it's the coach's son, that gets the glory, man.
Because you're a master. With all the
coach, go ahead. Yes, talk a little bit about Coach Schumann, man. He's the GOAT.
Well, I was man, as a player, man, he's my position coach. So it was what I really learned about Coach Schumann, man, I learned how to be actually a grinder, man, and be accountable for everything I had to do when I was here. And he was really tough guy, man. So it was a good thing for me. It changed my whole life on a lot of things, and it makes things so much easier. So I'm really thankful I had the opportunity to come back for you. And not only I'm a product of it. So I'm not telling the kids how to sit at a desk, how to do right face, because I done it myself. I walk these same walls, they in the same mess hall. So it's a good thing, man. He's a good guy, man.
Yeah. He's been so good to me. He's one of the guys like Coach Kane at Hermitage and Coach Jim Reed at UVA in Richmond and Coach McPhee at Huguenot. Coach Mountjoy, they took me under their wing. And I don't know if it was just because I was a pest and asked too many questions, but they really took me under my wing when I was a young coach. And I guess they just saw somebody that loved it as much as them.
Yeah. A lot of people don't understand, man. Coach was a hell of an athlete himself, man. When I went here, it was basketball, ping pong. He'll beat you in it, man. He's a very competitive dude.
Yeah, he wants to win. How many total NFL guys do y'all have in y'all's history? Do you even have a number?
I don't really have a number. That's far with Coach, but I don't know off the top of my head, but it's a high number.
Yeah. St. Thomas, Aquinas don't have as many.
No,
Long Beach Poly don't have as many. So Fork Union, Eddie George, Vinny Testaverde, Morgan Moses. There's so many.
It's name. And you got to think about it, you're adding all them names in it, but I respect all other postgraduate programs and prep school. But people have to realize these are guys who went to, not only did they went to the next level, they had to do military involved with it. So it's a whole different type of grind, a whole different type of mentality. Not just going to school, having everything you need, but you got to do military, so you have to buy in. So it's a good opportunity.
I remember I used to go up there for when y'all had the Canadian Bowl, and you had those teams come around from Canada, man, and you would have y'all probably still do. You have every college coach in the country at this thing. I'm talking about Alabama, Clemson, UVA, Virginia Tech. I mean, everybody. And it was crazy, and it still is. Like, I think it's kind of like, like a VMI guy. If you graduate from VMI and you're a VMI guy, they respect you. And I think the same way for Fork Union. If you go to Fork Union and you make it, and you have the stamp of Coach Schumann and his guys that, worked under him, that stamps you that this is a guy you can trust. This is a guy who knows how to work. What is it? Grind now, shine later. Y'all should trademark that.
Yes, sir. A hardworking man is a lucky man. Yeah, that's the best, one of the best sayings we have here. Grind now, shine later. And one of the craziest part is it helps out. And it's like when I went to the clinic, and that's why I always say when I post them on Twitter, I just don't say Fort Year Military Academy, because it's bigger than just football here, man. Because the things we went through, the things you sacrificed, the adversity that you had to deal with at the school, and then you see somebody for 96, you see somebody for 86, and it's all a brotherhood, man. You're like, dang, we can talk about so much, because it's a lot of stuff you deal with in 4 months. And now I'm not 4 months ago, I was a year, so it's a whole different type of environment.
Yeah, I think Mo had to stay a year. Yeah, and I've never had a kid that's went up there that hasn't made it. I mean, that hasn't gone out of there and gone to play college football. And every kid I've ever known. I mean, I think Merle Robertson might have went there. Jamie Lovern might have went there. They're both Bird graduates. Everybody that we've ever sent there has done well, even at Meadowbrook. But I didn't, y'all used to have the combine on MLK Day. I'm pretty sure y'all still do. But the thing that Coach Schumann would do that still resonates with me is like he'd take a kid who might be too heavy and tell them, hey, walk backwards on a treadmill and then come back in like 2 months and let's see where you're at. So he's really like, what is he doing there? Man.
He's doing fundraising stuff now, but now it's thanks to some Coach Frank Eric, who's been under Coach Schumann for the last 18 to 17 years, man. He does a hell of a job with it now, so that's why our program is still jumping. And the crazy part, you just talked about, we had a player that Coach Eric coached named Harlan Price went to Rutgers. And he was almost like 380 pounds, and the coach got him down like 320. He went to Rutgers, man. It's just crazy because it's so much things you can do when you actually sacrifice, dedicate yourself, eliminate distractions, and then you can change your whole mindset in your body. That's why it's called Fort Year Military Academy. That's why it's called Body, Mind, and Spirit.
Yeah, and Coach Schumann, I mean, he actually was a math teacher, so he was an expert at getting kids to pass that test. And I mean, I know that they don't have to take it anymore to be eligible, but man, how did he do it? I mean, what was his secret?
I can't go off all his years, man. I just know when we was here, man, and he was my math teacher too, but he pushed us hard, man. He pushed us hard. One thing I can say is, out of a lot of schools, and you think about 4 years, we are one subject plan. So we take one class for 7 weeks. So when you're in high school, and no offense to no high school at all, but you'll have the kid's cell phone here, he'll have math here, he'll have English here, and he have his TV on. When you have all them distractions, when the kid gets frustrated, what's the first thing he gonna go to? He go his cell phone. But you got a kid who has an English problem, a math problem, or he just need to get better in math or reading. Now he can just focus on that 7 weeks of just getting better. If it's reading, if it's writing, if it's SAT score. He had this time to just focus, because it's hard to put a lot of stuff in the kid's head at one time, 18 years old.
Yeah, I mean, I had a kid, or there was a kid I knew about last year. I texted you, and there was some private school that wanted him to reclass, and his parents was going to have to pay like $1,000 a month for him to reclass, and he did it. And the kid ended up not even starting at this private school that he went to reclass at. But I texted you, and I was thinking, like, if a kid really wants an extra year, like, graduate from your high school and go up the road an hour and see if you're a big dog. Because, I mean, that's where the big dogs are. And if you're tough, you'll make it. So, I mean, what is your whole how do you feel about that? This reclassing in high school when right up the road you got the best football factory of all time.
Well, the one thing about here, man, is that whoever kid chooses to dream, that's what he want to do, what he can do. But Fort Union is not meant for everybody. You know what I'm saying? It's not a easy path to go through. It is hard, but it's a sacrifice. But once you sacrifice, you can achieve your goal at the end. But you know what I'm saying? So that's why we have select food. That's why we do the combine. That's why we look at the transcript. That's why we look at the character. We look at his film, because once we decide you to come here, man, you are basically going to not say almost change your life, but you're going to change your mindset, your character, and you're going to grow spiritual here. So it's a lot of things involved for a kid to come through these walls.
Yeah. I mean, I remember, as a high school coach going up to the Canada game and then going up there when I coached at Virginia Union. And I just remember the coach's office and how the college coaches would go in there and y'all would have the stack of transcripts. Boom. I mean, like he would, and then you'd have tape. Boom. VHS tape. Boom. And like, I know everything's digital now, but just the level of organization and, there was like no stone was unturned, man, by Fork Union, Did you experience the same thing when you were a player and like the way
I experienced the same thing because I came from Chapel Hill, North Carolina, so my high school was basically a two-way go. So my opportunity is, man, I needed to get my grades up a little bit higher and get a little more exposure in recruiting. So when I got to 4 years myself, it actually helped me out on a lot of stuff, man. I got better in the classroom. I had that one subject plan, and I got better on the field. And it's crazy because it's a two-way go at 4 years, which we have. You can find a kid with a diamond in the rough, and which coach has done a hell of a job with. Fort Union has done a hell of a job in where you have a kid who comes from let's say a kid comes from Florida. You got Florida State there, Miami, all these big time Power 5 schools, but he might just be in a situation where he can't get that much recruiting knock. It's just big time schools. So then you get him another 4 months, he come here, get back in recruiting, get better in the weight room, get bigger, and see what happens. Because you can make it's just crazy how things happen, and you can change the kid's life in 4 months, and then he'll love you forever.
I mean, you're right. It is. And I mean, everybody wants the easy way. Everybody wants all the D1 offers, 8th graders, 9th graders. Why is my son not getting offered? I mean, and I have some people tell me sometimes, like, well, coach, like I got a kid with a 1.6. Like, what should I do? Should I send him to Fork Union? And I said, like, dude, like, the rules have changed now. I mean, it used to be if you give a special ed, they could retake like, I don't know, 4 or 5 classes. But now y'all ain't looking for kids that flunk out of high school with a 1.6.
No, we're looking for kids with high character, man, got good character, the kids that have good grades because the rules have changed, and the kid that want to put himself in a situation where he want to bet on himself and get an opportunity to
bet on himself.
Yeah.
I mean, that's really what it is. I mean, I was thinking it'd be cheaper just to go to Fork Union for half a year and bet on yourself to get a scholarship. Because, I mean, y'all are going to change the kid's body, their mind, their spirit, like y'all saying goes. But what is a day in the life of a Fork Union student like?
I can break it down to you postgraduate, man. So literally, because I hit the door. I probably hit the door about 5 o'clock. So the first thing we do is at 6 o'clock. Now, what I do, I walk around, I check the bathroom, check the trash, make sure everything's straight. And then at 6 o'clock, we have reveille. So, you know what I'm saying, the whistle blow. And then the horn, and they fall out at 6:15. When they fall out at 6:15, they stand in attention. And then they stand in attention. I do the greeting of the day, what we got going on. And then after that, at 6:15, they go in their room. They clean their room, make it a bed, shaving their face. Shoes got to be lined up. Bed got to be tight. It has to be $1 thing. And it's a two fingers that you got to have for the corner of your wall. Mirror must be clean. Chairs pushed in. And I stay apart about 7. Part with my boys, part about 7 o'clock. We'll start walking to brunch. And then we go to brunch, we'll sit down in there, eat your food, you're quiet. They don't care if they talk, but not too loud. And part about 7:12, that's about 7:40, we go to a retreat. Where we start getting prepared. That's when you stand attention. That's when we bring the flag up for the day. And so after we bring the flag up for the day, we walk into chapel. We're a spiritual school, so we always got to do that. And then once you go to class, they in class from 8. I say from 8 to 10:15. The best thing we have at Fort Union is that They're in class from 8 to 10:30, and then when they get their 10:30 break, the best thing with us, man, that's when they come down to us and we lift weights. They might run. It just depends on the day. They might stretch. That's the one thing I like about the school, man. Like a lot of boys, you're in high school all day, but we had that break where we're going to work on that athleticism. We're going to work on them in the weight room. We're going to work on a lot of, you hear most can't bend, so we got to do a lot of bending. And then after that, they go up to lunch. And after they get to lunch, they typical day at 4U, and they get out of class at 2 o'clock. But at 2 o'clock on certain days, I think it's Monday and Wednesday, but now it's Tuesday and Thursday, we have what you call drill before practice. Drill, they in their DCU, they in camos. And you're out there, that's why I call it's a different mindset. That's when we build toughness. And toughness is like basically, you already know what toughness is. You stand in attention, and then we work on right face, left face, salute, learn how to salute, right face, left face. What else we do? So we gotta learn how to march. There's a lot of stuff involved. And then after that's for an hour. So now they're in their class, they done worked out, they're in their class all day. We done did drill. So now we march them down. Now we're going to practice. Yeah. So after they finish practice, we go to practice, and practice runs from about 3 o'clock to about 5 o'clock. And at 5 o'clock, they'll finish practice. They go to the mess hall, they eat dinner, and then from 6 to we do by hours, 6 to 7 o'clock, we have a position meeting with your coaches. What we did for practice, I watch film, and then at 7:15 we blow the whistle. They'll fall back out, and at 7:30 we bring the flag down. And after we bring the flag down, they'll march back to their rooms, and they get ready for CQ. So that's basically study hall from 8 to 9:30. And after 8 to 9, and then after 8 to 9:30, they had that 30 minutes for hygiene checks, clean your room, details, take out the trash, sweep your floor, and at 10 o'clock, lights out, and you repeat the day.
Yeah, I mean, it's rinse and repeat. I mean, once they go to a 4-year school, I mean, it's like they died and went to heaven. Yeah. I mean, that's just like, that is a football factory, dude. I mean, you are creating soldiers and football players, and there's a lot of similarities between a football team and an Army. Who is one kid that you've worked with that you've seen the biggest change in a 4-month period? Is there anybody, or does it take longer to actually see the change?
One of the kids I can say as one that came here, man, probably one that just asked us a couple of them, but the one that really hit the most it would be Mitch Bernardino, who went to Buffalo. He was 6'6", but he came to our combine at 215 pounds. Then he reported to camp at 240 at Fort Union. Then he left here at 260 pounds. And he had all nothing but D2. He had all just D2. And he got a full ride D1 at Buffalo. So yeah.
I mean,
that's crazy. And then we have another guy which I praise a lot because it's heavy, who went to Charlottesville for 4 years, Charlottesville High School, which is a decent, everybody know decent high school. And then he comes here at Fort Union for 4 months, and he get a full ride to D2 for UVA Wise.
Wow.
And he didn't really play at Charlottesville like that. And he came here and played tight end, and he got a full ride of UVA Wise. So that's
he didn't even play in high school hardly, get no playing time, and go to y'all and get a scholarship.
Yeah, just a little bit. That's a real, out of all the big accomplishments, I think that's one of the biggest accomplishments I love as a coach, man, just to see that happen. A guy that pushed himself hard every day, was a good athlete, man. There's some athletes a little bit better, but he still got a chance to play college football.
Yes. Yeah, so neither one of the guys that you named made it to the NFL, but you really changed those guys' lives.
No, they still in college. You know what I'm saying? I ain't got to. Coach Eric and Coach Schumann has the opportunity where they got the guys who are in the NFL. I just got here in December 2019. So all my guys I've been coaching is in college. So pray Lord, I get the opportunity to see some of them go too.
Oh, you are. Trust me. I mean, that system is tried and true. It works.
We just try to keep it rolling.
What football coach wouldn't want to have that amount of control? I mean, of their team and what they're doing and what they're putting in their bodies and what they're lifting. They ain't got no choice. I mean, there's nothing there. So, I mean, if they start walking, there's a long walk to there might be a gas station in town, but they're going to stick out like a sore thumb. Somebody's going to make a phone call. So, tell me a little bit about the history of the school of Fork Union.
Well, you're talking about when I think it's
like how it started and stuff.
That's more. I gotta get better at my history, man. I can't really say much about it. I gotta get better at my history.
I mean, it was probably.
I know one thing we're going on to now is 125 years.
I mean, I would assume that it started as a boarding school, a military school, somewhere that people sent their sons to get them in line. You know what I'm saying? Like, I would assume that's what it was started for. Now, when they started the football program, that was genius. I mean, because it's like whoever it was smart. I mean, I'm pretty sure Coach Schumann could tell us. So, what is like if
the one that Coach Schumann started is Coach Pelham, then Coach Schumann took over.
Wow. So Coach Schumann actually played for the guy that started the program.
Yeah, then when post-grads got started, then Coach Schumann, then after he took over from there. And then after Coach Schumann, now it's Coach Frank Eric.
Okay, right on. What is the mindset of a Fork Union PG player? Post-grad, already graduate high school. What would the mindset be?
Well, mindset, we talk about most of this, man, is that the first thing you got to do with the mindset is like it's so many things. Because I tell a kid all the time, you got to come here and get your mind right, man. What I mean, you got to get your mind right. If you think about this, you taking a kid out of his comfort zone who probably in high school did what he wanted to do, and then you come to Fort Union, now he has to deal with military. He has to deal with his TAC officer, which I'm gonna jump on every 2 seconds. I'm hard but I'm fair. Then he had to deal with his teacher, so you got to deal with his classroom because you still got to do school here. It's not no online classes. You go to a classroom, you sit at a desk, you do your schoolwork. Then you got to deal with. Then you got to go to practice and deal with your coach. Then you got to deal with your personal life because, as you know, it's not really that much social media. So now you're thinking about your personal life and the number one that you just said. Everybody want to know about their offer, coach. When I'm gonna get offered. So you're throwing all that in the 18-year-old mind. Now you think about it. On a regular high school, man, there's no military, there's no TAC officer. You got to deal with a teacher, you got to deal with a coach, and he already has that other part, which is he gonna see his personal life. So you putting all that in a 18-year-old boy mind in 4 months. So now that's building toughness, that's building his mindset, and we're spiritual. We're a very spiritual school. So now he gets to the point where he go to chapel, so he can't lean on his understanding. He got to get him to try to trust God.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a good thing. So what I try to tell people with Fort Union, as in the Fort Union Military Academy, I say the first one for the F is focus. Focus, like understand why are you here? Why are you focusing? And then for the unions, understanding. Now we don't focus. We already know we focus. We understanding why we're here. Now for military, I call it master. Now you're mastering. What you need mastering? You need mastering reading, writing, getting stronger, getting bigger. Well, you got mastering your craft. You got mastering your craft. And then at academy, is to achieve your goal at the end. So it's supposed to understand, master, achieve. You can achieve your goal at the end. What's everybody's goal is go to that next level.
Yeah, like in our football program and this clinic, everybody was upset that I didn't do the in-person clinic, but like I've been able to do over 50 podcasts since the convention, whenever the convention was. I mean, what is that, a month or two or something? I don't know.
Yeah, January.
Like we're changing lives, which y'all do. We're getting guys to the next level, which y'all do, and we're helping build champions for life. Like that's the three things after 20 some years of coaching. Then I finally that's our mission statement. That's what we're doing, and we're trying to do this with this clinic. So if a high school coach is watching and they may not have discipline, like there's one particular coach that told me that his players look at him and they say like, you don't relate to me. You don't look like me. You don't understand me. You're trying to change me. Like, what can a high school coach take from what y'all do and implement in his program? Like just sitting in the desk. Like that's what Mo told me. And that's such a simple thing, but it shows that you care. It shows that you're paying attention. So what would you say to a high school coach?
And I'm big about discipline, period. So I'm the TAC officer guy, man. So just being quiet, even when we retreat, just show how if you can stand in attention, to me, if you can stand in attention and don't be quiet for 5 minutes, the 90% time when that coach tell you don't jump off sides in the game, you won't jump. You know what I'm saying? Because you learn how to stand in attention. It's all been just marching. The military is a buy-in, so that's already discipline. Now, you know what I'm saying? I tell every kid, it's not that he's going to the military, but military is a buy-in. So that's already he has a buy-in to it. That's understanding the rules. That's code of behavior. That builds your character. So when a college coach walk in, he like, Coach, did he handle the military? Yes, sir, he did handle the military. He got up, he made his room, he made his bed, he cut his hair, he shaved his face. which we don't shave heads. Go and get out of the way. People like to say we don't shave heads. And then he shave his face. He shine his shoes. He sit down doing CQ from 8 to 9:30. In which you're gonna do the same thing you go to college when you have study hall. So I just tell a lot of coaches, man, it's not easy because you're taking now it used to be a year, but now it's 4 months, and you have a kid that's been doing everything he want to do for the last 18 years. And now you got to change his whole mentality for 4 months. So it's a good time with him, but at the same time, it's a long grind. It's a long grind because it's everything. It's the everyday thing to me. It's the everyday thing. Once the PG postgraduate get here, you got to stay on. You give them an inch, they take them out.
Mm-hmm.
So every day you stay on.
I mean, y'all really are trying to change them. I mean, y'all are making them into Fork Union military men. I mean, y'all are indoctrinating them. Y'all are brainwashing them, and it works. And if you don't want to buy in, I guess you can leave, but you ain't gonna make it in life.
Because it's almost saying what we do again. Fort Union is based on a red shirt year without getting red shirt. So you come here 4 months. Now you have opportunity where you got bigger, you got academic stuff, you got a little more in the classroom, you got a little more spiritual. Now you have your opportunity where now we can get to school in January, you can get to spring ball, and then you get in the weight room of the school, you can learn the system of the school. And the crazy thing about Fort Union that a lot what people understand is that once he get in school in August, he still got 4 to play 5 to play college football. He comes in a true freshman, but he's not a true freshman straight out of high school because he did an extra year where he played higher competition. We played D3 schools, D1 AA, and other postgraduates, and he then got in a lift routine, and he know how to get up because it's 5:45 here.
Yeah. Sean Barrow left a message on Facebook. He said, I have to agree with him. I played high school football, and our coach was the same way. Well, Sean, which school did you go to, and was he a military guy? Because some of the best coaches I've ever been around were military guys. They knew how to build a team, and there won't no questioning nothing. There won't no saying, well, coach, I think that. Like, no, it was no choice, no decision. Like, you're doing it. And I guess it's like,
and the crazy part, man, I'm not, I didn't have no parts into a military, but I'm the captain here. So what I learned from Fort Union, and I came back. Now I'm the captain for Delta football for postgraduate. So the right face, left face, I'm still learning myself, but I'm good with it. I'm pretty good when it comes to discipline because I stay on them dudes hard, man. My favorite line, I'm hard, but I'm fair. I'm hard, but I'm fair.
That's what my dad was he was a drill instructor at Paris Island. He ran a plant at Reynolds Metals. And he said, Troy, you can't treat everybody the same, but you can treat them fair. And you're fair. Like you ain't going to treat the guy that does everything right the same exact way as the dude that's always messing up. Like that dude that's always messing up and breaking the rules, he's going to get it. So he's going to catch it.
Well, people don't understand with the military, not even just the military part, the kids coming when they do the military, say you have a kid that could have been a knucklehead in high school. Now he got sent to Fort Union. People don't understand. I got to have a company commander. I got to have a first sergeant. I got to have a squad leader. And then they have to lead. So you're my company commander. You're basically my right-hand man. You got to lead 60 boys. You got to call the cadence. You got to march them through. If you're a squad leader, you have a group. So that's another part that's building character. When the coach say, Coach, how did you do? Well, he was my lieutenant. He had his own group. He had to make sure they shave and everything.
Sean says, I went to Abilene High School. That's a great high school program in Texas. I'm from Virginia, coach from North Carolina, but we know Abilene. Got a scholarship for Baylor University, but I got hurt senior year. Coach was in the Army for 16 years at the time. Was he a Vietnam guy? I mean, how old are you, Sean? I was just wondering, those Vietnam guys were different, but the World War II guys were different too. So, like, when one of the things like that they say is so humbling is like when a player goes there, like sometimes they'll have to take orders from a kid who is younger than them. So that's actually humbling. Is that true?
When I went to school here, they're now all the Delta postgraduate football players are in one company. But when I went to school here, the Party Morgan Mower, Daryl Blackstock, all of them, we had to take somebody else. Now my order, that's even to me, I think it's even harder because now you take orders from your own teammate who could be your roommate. Yeah, so guys all the time. It's kind of hard when you in the cab with a dude you hang with a dude. It could be a middle linebacker and the outside linebacker, and then I say, hey, you got to tell him to do burpees because he didn't shave. So you got to walk over there to your teammate and say, coach said you got to do burpees because you didn't shave.
Yeah,
that's building character, man. That's tough.
it is, and that's leadership. That's what every college coach in America wants, is to have leadership in their locker room, and for the players to care that much that they police themselves.
Yeah.
So like that is so true. But like I heard the stories, like a fifth grader would be telling Morgan Moses what to do back in the day. So that doesn't happen anymore.
The lowest we ever got was sixth grade. Now just 7.
Oh, sixth grader.
Yeah, always now 7 all the way up to postgraduate.
But I was thinking, like, another good thing about Fork Union is that if you have the right intentions of going there and doing what you're supposed to, and the other guys do too, you surround yourself with guys who have the same goals. And it's like that saying, show me your friends, I'll show you your future. Or like Mr. Beast just said, the cheat code to life is to surround yourself with people you want to be like. So you might have been around knuckleheads in Chapel Hill or in Richmond or wherever, but you go to Fork Union, oh, what? This guy, he wants to go play college football too. So talk a little bit about that, Coach.
One thing I like, what I'd say every time we get to the summer, which is, and I think it's big when these boys go to college, man, and I love the most about it is when you got, let's say you got 40 guys, 50 guys, everybody thinks they're the alpha male. You might have an all-state guy from Virginia, all-state guy from Florida, all-state guy from Georgia. Somebody was never was underrated, and he's a diamond in the rough. Now you put all these guys in one room. Now you find out who's really alpha male, who really want to go to that next level. Because if people don't understand, like after 4 years, you have to go to college. It's going to be all-American there. So let's go ahead and build. It's called competition. Build that competition now, so it'll be easy for you to get to college. Because when you put 50 guys together, everybody's goal to go to that next level, then you really have to compete.
Yeah. Sean said, I'm 24 now, but he was strict on what he did and how he would go about it. I think he's about 83 years old now, retired from coaching. He's a Vietnam guy. And those Vietnam guys, they were different. Coach, I had Mr. Camry, he's a substitute teacher. He told me that his mom's dad fought in World War II, Korea, and then went to Vietnam twice. The dude was 50-some years old. Dang. And Mr. Cameron is a black man, and his wife is a black woman. And he told me, he said, we have so much pride for our country, and that the guy fought in 3 wars. Dude, that is hard. Have you ever heard of that? Like, that is hardcore, man.
Yeah, we have a guy here named Sergeant Major. He went through a lot, man. I don't know his whole story, but he's a different
Sergeant Major. That's all you got to say, dude. That guy gets more respect than the general. Yeah. I mean, the Sergeant Major, he's enlisted. Like, he worked his way up. Like, he actually had to like dodge bullets and like real deal, man.
Because you think about it, man. You're walking around. You got to do is walk around. Like say Morgan when he was here, he's 6'7", 6'8". You got a 5'4", 11, 7th grader. They feed on what you do. So that's definitely when you got to talk about building character and have to be respectful. Learn how to say yes. People don't understand. One of the hardest things is with you're just getting a young man, 18-year-old young man to say yes sir, no sir. How you doing?
Yeah. Man, things that we learned as a kid a lot. Yeah. I mean, dude, if I said yeah, my dad said yeah what? Like that's unacceptable. And even when you get older, people want you to change. You know, yes sir, no sir, yes ma'am, no ma'am. It'll take you a long ways in life. And people always ask, "Are you military?" No, I'm not military. It's just my dad just taught us that way. Sean said, "I wanted to go pro, so did I." All right, I also want a Lamborghini and Beyonce. I could have, but got hurt, and now I'm a welder for the oil field. You make a lot more money than me, Sean. I know that. And Sean, how did you find out about the podcast? I'm just asking. Are you friends with Coach on Facebook? Are you friends with me? I was just wondering, have you ever heard of Fork Union? Because Fork Union, I mean, their name carries weight. Yeah, there's not a college coach in America. Talk about some of the colleges that y'all had there this year.
Yeah, we had we had our combine. We had UVA stop by. We had Virginia Tech stop by. Who else we had? A couple more. We had Marshall come through. James Madison came through. Rutgers that came through. We done had a bunch of coaches come through. And then we have a bunch. We get a bunch of phone calls too, man. So
yeah, I mean, it's probably easier to say who wasn't there, because whoever wasn't there is an idiot. They should be fired. Like, if I was coaching college ball, I would be at y'all's anything I could get to, man. I'd have the pick of the litter. I'd say, Coach, which one should I take? That one right there. Okay, Coach, I'll offer him. Let's go. Let's go. Get him signed right now, man.
Yeah, you get an opportunity to get a dude, man, who just left high school, went to a military environment, learned how to just say yes, sir, no, sir, got strong in the weight room, got better at academics, know how to study, and has fight adversity, and because he know how to put some away, which all the kids love. It's called cell phone. So he not let that go, so it helps him out.
Sean said, on my suggestions, because I talked to a lot of coaches on Facebook, and it was something that I'm into. Love the conversations. Sean, check out all of our podcasts we've been doing, man. We've had some great coaches. Coach is young. Coach, what are you, like 25, 26?
Nah, 37.
Oh, you just look young, Coach.
Yeah, good.
Man, you just look young, man.
No crack, man.
I'll tell you one thing, dude. If you ever wanted to be a bodyguard or a UFC fighter, I want to be your manager, dude, because you're a big man. You're 6'5", 250 pounds. Like, you could wreck shop.
Yeah, I gotta get back to that size, man. I used to be a bouncer back in the day. I worked in the corrections.
Oh, man. I tell you one thing, man. I wouldn't want to arm wrestle you. Check out this dude we got called the Real Cyborg. The Real Cyborg is from Lakewood High School in St. Petersburg. He should have went to Fork Union, but he went to UCF, and then I almost brought him to Union. Then he went to some JUCO. But the dude is 5-0, and he's gonna be like UFC champion, man. But ain't that crazy, man? We got a guy from Abilene, Texas, watching this.
Yeah, that's
ain't
crazy.
That nuts? So what are the lies that some of these private schools or fake prep schools? I mean, I'm not talking about the legit JUCOs, you know, but the not legit guys. What are some lies that they tell about y'all that you would like to clear up?
Well, not really a lie, because I will say something, but it's not really a lie, because at Fort Union we don't really care much about another postgraduate. We just focus on us. But one thing I can say is, yes, it is military, but it's not what people think it is. It's not like when you really get into the Army and all that stuff, and they preach through it. We don't shave heads. You hear that all the time. You gotta shave your head. We have Twitter now, so the dudes do got opportunity to get on Twitter, get on their laptop and stuff. It's still no cell phone, but they have a room phone. They have a laptop, so it ain't like you going to a boondocks where it's completely nothing. You don't get nothing at all.
Yeah, Coach has got internet right now. He's on campus. I mean, they have internet there, but the story I like that Coach Schumann tells is the story about, I think it might be his oldest son going to FUMA, and Coach Schumann was excellent at making kids more athletic.
Yeah.
What was his secret?
Well, I know when I was here, man, I was playing middle linebacker with him. Then I was gonna get turned to a DN, but I can't really say his secret. I don't really know what his secret is, but I know here out of my team, I seen six get switched to a different position. My teammate who had the opportunity to play for the 49ers, named CJ Spillman, was a receiver, got turned into a safety. He went to Marshall, played for 49ers. We had a corner named Mark Parson who played running back in Virginia.
Yeah, from Monica, ain't he?
Yeah, he got turned into a corner. He went to the Houston Texans. So it's crazy. And then we even speaking on our year last year, a linebacker that I had, his name is Cleo Murdoch, who was at Buffalo, who played D in high school. Then he played his senior linebacker, and he actually got another chance here to play linebacker. And he went to Buffalo. And then Sam Danka went to so it's the South. I came up to South Summers. It's in Virginia, but he played corner in high school. 6'5", 200 pounds. He got turned to a linebacker and he went to East Carolina.
So how do you feel about a high school kid who says, well, Coach, I'm a corner, or I'm a quarterback, or, you know, Coach, I'm a safety, or I'm a linebacker, or Coach, I'm not an offensive lineman? I mean, would that work at y'all's place, or y'all going to put that kid where he is going to be the most successful on the next level?
The best thing that the head coach does now, and I praise him for it, we do a hell of a job with it. Here at Fort Union, you have to play multiple positions, so we have to set your film. So if a kid can say he play corner, but what else can you play? Kid might say he's a tight end. Let's try some tackle. You know what I'm saying? We got to put you in the best fit possible to get you to that next level. A kid might say he was a running back, but he's an aggressive running back. His hips might be tight, but he every time he want to run somebody over, that means you're aggressive. That means you want to play some linebacker too. So it's all different play. And then one thing I learned, Coach Schumann speaks all the time, and then Coach Eric preaches about it. Some kid play point guard in basketball, he might be a corner.
Yeah. I mean, he covers the guy that's going up the court every single.
Nobody comes here really at Fort Union just play one position. We try to put you in multiple positions so you can showcase your talent.
Yeah, because the more multiple you are, the more opportunities you're going to have.
More tracks you could be at the school. So a coach walk in and say, "Hey, I'm full of receiver, but I have a corner. You got corner film. Let me see, can I take you at corner?" I was 6'4", 240 pounds, and I played middle linebacker for coach. But I knew where I was going. My hand was going to the dirt.
Yeah, a lot of people don't like that, but man, that's where the money's made, dude. I mean, the days of playing linebacker, I mean, there ain't many linebackers anymore. I mean, everybody's running, 6 DBs and 5 DBs, and the game's changed, man. The money guys go get the quarterback. You either cover guys. I mean, ain't many people in high school.
Coach got a hell of a story of 2 guys I can say because he talks about it, man. One is Gaines Adams, who played 8-man football in South Carolina, and he was a receiver and got turned to a DN and went to a first round and went to Clemson. Ooh. And then Anthony Costanzo, and Coach talks about, and Coach Eric, he played tight end and some D tackle, and they turned him into a tackle, and he went to Boston College.
Yeah, he went to the NFL. I think he played. He went to the NFL.
He played for the coach, played 10 years. So it's the kids got to get to the point up here, man. Stop limiting yourself just for one position. You don't know what your talent is.
Yeah, just because your daddy says you're a linebacker, just because you're the same size as Ray Lewis. Ray Lewis is not a particularly big guy.
No, it's not.
I mean, you would think he's bigger than what he is. I mean, because I coached his son, Ray, at Virginia Union, and I just thought he was a regular guy. But, just because your son is 6 foot and 220 don't mean that he is a linebacker. Because, I mean, he can't run. I mean, those guys like Ray Lewis, they're like tailbacks, man. Oh, man, Coach, this is a long message right here, Coach. Dude, I was interviewing Gene Chizik, and this guy wrote like a eulogy about me. And Coach, I wanted to put it up there and read it in front of Coach Chizik, but it covered up his face. So I was like, man, I can't read this. The guy's saying that I'm the GOAT. And I'm usually live on TikTok. I have almost 16,000 followers. We're the low man on the totem pole. I don't even know how many followers we have that I talk to, and some are coaches also. But I've also been on the one to always listen to what coaches have to say, because usually the coach is always right. I was a running back, and coach always told me to run your route. And if you mess up, I'm going to wring your neck. But I love my coach, and he was tough on all of us. But in the end, we learned to listen. Yeah, if you played for me and you could run the ball, you could run it wherever you want. Because I heard Pete Carroll say once to Golden Pat Rule, that was the O-line coach, he said, you can't stop a speeding bullet.
Right.
Some guy, you played linebacker. I had a kid, I'm a running back. I said, well, if you played running back, you could probably play linebacker, because running backs hit holes and linebackers fit them. They fill them. So it's,
but you watch all these, I try to get guys all stats. I'm a linebacker and running back coach, man. I'm big about fundamentals, but I try to get kids to understand, if you're a linebacker, if your tape sells where you can showcase your talent, running the ball, opening your hips, leaving people, and then you can flip your tape, and now you're going downhill and you striking. That's showing a lot on your tape at one time, instead of trying to just sit in one position. That's what we try to tell people. So a lot of some of the linebackers, you can be an athletic linebacker and run the ball, because the game has changed, man. It's not 1996 where it's I formation. The game is played now from the hash to the sideline.
Yeah, everybody's spreading it out and playing in space, and they got to have guys that can run.
They can run.
Those big linebackers like Levon Kirkland they're not around no more.
No, man, linebackers 6'2", 220, they can run.
Like those kids from Virginia Tech, from Dan River, the one that plays for the Buffalo Bills. Good gosh.
The Edmonds boys.
Oh, my gosh, dude. I know Farrell Evans was a freakazoid, dude. I remember him when he played for the Dolphins. But, man, that one that plays for the Buffalo Bills, I mean, he's bigger than offensive lineman and runs like a receiver. I mean, it's crazy, man. So, Coach, what would you say to a kid or a parent that wants their son to get recruited, or thinks they're not getting helped enough by their high school coach, or the high school coach ain't pushing their son enough? What advice would you give that kid, 9th, 10th, 11th grader?
Well, I tell a kid at 10th grade, 11th grade, man, first thing is, when I can tell a kid, He's in the 10th grade. First thing you need to do is keep focus on them grades. No matter what you no matter what you do, you can't. No matter what it is, you gotta have grades. And then the second thing is you gotta get to the point. You need to pass the eye test. You gotta pass the eye test. That means you get in the weight room and lift weights. If you got good grades, you can pass the eye test.
Yeah, grade test, eye test.
We halfway there. We halfway there. Now you got to showcase your film and have a good character.
The tape test, the go test. Yeah, Can he go? Man, Coach, I had like a little rant that I talked about, and I talked about the 3 tests. I mean, we didn't get to the character test.
No.
But they're going to get that. But, like, those are the 3 things. Grades. Like, what can I focus on? Make good grades. Well, what else can I focus on? Work hard. What else can I work on? Be a good kid. There you go. Like, everybody's worried about the offer. Okay, here you go. We got another one here, Coach. I agree. Our wide receivers couldn't really catch, so I usually had to run a lot. I was getting so bad that we had to let them go and bring our second-string wide receivers because the first string couldn't catch the ball. Well, at Fork Union, they don't have a first, second, or third. They're all first stringers.
Everybody plays.
They all got offers. It's crazy, John. You should see these guys. Like, y'all should play Lackawanna, man. I would like to see y'all play Lackawanna.
Yeah, everybody plays, man.
Because Lackawanna Junior College came down here to Richmond and played a team, and it was like 100 to nothing.
Yeah.
It was 100 to nothing, and I think you probably know the school.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, and I mean, it wasn't even fun, dude. Like it wasn't even fun to watch. Like, I want to see a battle, man. And sometimes, like, I remember when Coach Schumann was the head coach, y'all might even take an L sometimes just because y'all was getting y'all's players film and not so much worried about winning the game. You know, because y'all see the big picture.
And people don't understand, man. You talking about Fort Union people? What people really don't understand that Fort Union used to play Virginia Tech, UVA, Marshall, JV teams, which we can't do it no more. But that's what people don't understand. That's where we used to play.
Yeah, and I mean, I guess I don't know why they're not allowed to, because all you're doing is helping the kids. I guess they thought that the big schools had an advantage, but the big schools are going to get the best kids anyway. I mean, cheating is legal now. Let's go ahead and change that rule and have Fork Union where they can play Virginia Tech's JV team and UVA. Like, who cares? Just let them play, man.
They'll play football.
Like, they're playing these teams. They're basically some of the teams y'all play, not the legit teams, but the teams, they're basically like rec ball. I mean, it's basically like semi-pro. No disrespect to semi-pro, but like I don't even know if they take classes. Do you know the schools I'm talking about?
Yeah,
I mean, it's like North Carolina Tech was one of them. I mean, they popped up all over the place, and it's just somebody wants to pay their mortgage.
Well, Coach, I coach now. Coach Eric do a hell of a job, man. So we play a lot of D2, D3, and legit postgraduate program because we want to have good games and don't want to be in a situation of fighting or somebody folding because every game here counts.
Yeah, because some of those teams y'all would play, they wouldn't even show up. You know, like I'm glad. Talk about, I mean, you coach against the D2 and D3s. Like some kids are like, oh, I'm going to sign with the D2. Well, dude, like you're signing with the D2, you're getting $3,000. It costs $40,000 to go there. But this other D3 school, they got it where it's a lot less. Well, like, is there that much difference? Because Coach Schumann, I mean, that's Coach Pedro Aruza from Randall Macon says, Troy, there's the big time, and then there's everybody else. So, like, talk a little bit about that, the difference in the divisions.
I try to tell kids, man, because it's for you, and we have kids go to big time D1 school. We have some kids go D2, but I try to tell people to understand this: if you have opportunity to get an education and get money, take it. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of kids these days are so stuck on I want to go Power 5. But I always tell a kid, one thing about us, we don't show the kid dreams or we give you that opportunity, but in the day, after a while, lively and your mindset have to set in and let you know you're not at that level.
I mean, it isn't who you love. It's who loves you.
Yeah.
Like, I love Beyonce. I love Rihanna. I mean, there's a lot of them I love, but they don't love me.
My favorite saying I got from a coach, man, and he's probably on his Coach Schumann, man, is he told me, go where they want you. They treat you better.
Yeah. I mean, my girlfriend says she's from Rock Hill. She used to say, like, her mom used to say, like, a man will show you, like, if they want you. Like, you don't have to, like, go after no man. Like, they'll show you. And, like, I mean, I guess college coaching is the same, you know.
Kids don't, and kids with great kids don't understand, man. I try to. Kids might talk about D3 and D2, but I'm trying to get kids to understand that's still college football, man. And you know, D3 is not no slouch. D2 is not no slouch. The higher level you go, the tougher it get. So I don't know why. You see it all the time, but kids swear you're just gonna walk into a D3 school and a D2 program. They're just gonna start. Coach, you played there. You're a freshman, man. There's some strong dudes at them type of levels.
Yeah, I mean, they may be a little bit shorter, but I mean, they're probably a lot tougher, and they probably ain't soft. I mean, a lot of those guys, they're pretty. They're tall, they're long, they can run.
What separates D2 school to most D1 AA and hard Power 5 is one, the players and the facilities. Yeah. It's tough. It's just tough. You got dudes who's 6'6", 300-something pounds at D2. You got in the same time at Power 5. Only thing about it, he gets a little more treatment, a little more food, a little more facilities to get a little bit better athlete, and then you got it other school.
And it really ain't where you start; it's where you finish.
Yes, sir.
Like, there's all kinds of guys that have offers. Like, I saw a kid; he was 9th or 10th grader. He got Virginia Tech. I mean, Stanford was in his top at the end, but then he ends up going to some other college. Like, dude, like you must have not really had those offers. Like, it isn't where you get the offer, it's where you go and what you make of it. And like, heck, there's been plenty of people that have gone to small colleges and walked on at big schools and gone to the NFL or, you know, been success. It's bigger than just making it to the NFL, though. I mean, y'all have changed lives, man.
Yeah, I preach about that all the time. I want every kid to come here. If you want an opportunity, I pray, Lord, you get an opportunity to go to the NFL. But I tell the kid, we got to get you to college first. Your goal is you want to go to college. And then let the NFL lead from there. But hey, we need lawyers, we need doctors, we need police officers, we need teachers, we need coaches, we need more mentors. You know what I'm saying? Because I've been on the opposite end where I worked in a different type of environment as a correction officer. So that's one reason I love coaching, because nothing like seeing a young man make it to college instead of seeing him put him in handcuffs.
I mean, how does that feel to be on the opposite end of it and then go to being a coach? Like, was that just not for you?
Now, when I first started, I've been talking Coach Schumer for a while, man, but nothing was open at the time. When I first started corrections, I was coaching high school football, but I was working in a jail. So when I finally got to practice, I felt a relief to actually talk to a kid instead of see a kid is locked up. And I feel like I was too late. So now I got to the point where I can catch the kid before he get the opportunity. So before I was trying to talk to him there, man, they're gone. There's no chance.
Yeah, institutionalized, man.
So now I'm trying to get to a point where now I'm here and I can do what I love and at the same time get to mentor a kid. And then I can tell them, because I used to work there for 3 years, I can tell them it's not an environment that you want to touch.
No doubt, man. I mean, it's crazy, man. Like, you see so many kids with talent. I mean, is there anybody that you grew up with or knew that was probably like, you would have thought, man, this guy would have played in the NFL one day?
I hate to say it, but the crazy part is, I mean, when I got out of playing ball, I went back home and worked in my county. So when you talk about working in my county, I was putting handcuffs on all my old teammates, man, some of my family members, man. So it's kind of, I had to get up out of there, man.
Yeah.
And
man, too many people know you, man. It's like, hey, man, can you help me out there? I mean, what am I supposed to do, dude? Like, you're the one that got the DUI, not me. I mean,
5 a.m. to 5 p.m. is a stressful environment for 12 or 14 hours, man. And I'm talking about, people don't understand, man. You're actually in there doing some crazy stuff, man. You might have to fight every day if you have to, but it's rough.
Yeah, man. I'm glad I never had to experience that. And I mean, Coach,
I commend anybody that did law enforcement or did corrections. I respect them all, man. I did it and I've seen it before, so I know.
Yeah, man. So, like, when you look at linebackers and I think linebackers is probably one of the hardest positions to recruit, because I don't know if you can coach it. I mean, maybe you can, but sometimes it's just instinctual, man. Like, dude, you're boom. Yeah. Like, what do you look for on the film for a linebacker?
Well, for me, man, I'm so big with fundamentals, and so the first thing I look is I look at his hips. I look how long he is. Try to see if he's violent. And then he's gonna strike. But when he strikes, does he knock him back, or do he grab his legs, or is he gonna run? And, like, you know what I'm saying? Because now these days you can't just be tackle to tackle. I tell my linebacker all day, you can't be tackle to tackle. You got to be side to sideline. And a lot of coaches always talk about, and I tell my linebacker all the time, is knock back. Are you knocking these dudes back, or you just grabbing his ankles? So what I preach every day is when I got my opportunity and we come out. So we have practice 3:30. I get my boys probably about 15 minutes early before practice. We do stance and starts. So I'm eyes, hands, feet, eyes, hands, feet, eyes. So now I got to teach them how to pre-snap read. I got to look at the guards, gap control, and then hands must be violent. I preach hands must be violent like Mike Tyson. When you hit these linemen, now because when you get here, my goal for 4 months is I got to change because a lot of, no offense, no schools, but a lot of kids go around tackles.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're trying to go to that college level. Sometimes you got to take them jokers on. So I got to teach them how to strike and use their hand and run their feet. That's why I call it eyes, hand, feet. Run their feet because so many kids like to use their shoulder. Use your shoulder, man. And what I preach the most to my linebackers is if you got a tackle that's all ACC and you got an opportunity to be a freshman at UNC, if you want to give that man your shoulder, I tell my boys, you got to be on him after his second step. If that All-American, he's a junior, you're a freshman, he gets to his third step, you're done. You talking about a big dude who been in college for 3 years, and
Morgan Moses is going to take you back, man.
You got to strike him quick. It's too late. So I'm constantly always talking about eyes, hands, feet, man. Recognize what you're seeing, what you're hitting. Use your hands and run your feet.
Yeah, no doubt, Coach. If there's a kid who's watching, or a coach who might have a player for Fork Union, like what would you like to say to them?
Well, I like to tell them if they're looking to come to Fork Union, we have multiple combines. We have one coming up Monday, President's Day. We just had Martin Luther King. We have one in March. Then we do one. We're going to Florida and have one, and then we bring the team back in May, and that'd be almost our team. But then the head coach has the opportunity. We have individual workout too. So if a kid want to push himself, he want to bet on himself. He want to get better. He want to get his body better, get his mind. Let go, eliminate distractions so he can get to that next level and grow spiritually, man. Fort Union is a great place for him.
How about for any coaches, that might, or like even anybody watching who might be doing corrections or, maybe a military guy or police officer that wants to get into coaching? What advice would you give them, like in getting in the business? How should they start?
Well, I know for me, man, it's now these days, which is true, is so much everybody want to be at a certain spot, man. So I'm just sure I'm the captain up in the Bears, and I'm just a position coach. You know what I'm saying? One step at a time. Build your craft. Start where you at. You know what I'm saying? Everybody want to be this. Everybody want to be a coordinator. Everybody want to be a head coach. Everybody want to do so many things, man. But are you professional where you at? My goal is if I get an opportunity to be a coordinator, I don't want to say, Coach, give me that spot. I want to earn it.
Yeah, that's a good point, man.
Like, I want to earn it, man. So I'm gonna keep grinding. I'm gonna keep on doing what I'm doing here at Fort Union, try to get my opportunity to get to that next step. But right now, my goal is I'm the linebacker and running back coach, and I help with recruiting. So I gotta make sure we get the best guys in here recruiting and continue having the best linebacker running back group.
So, like, you're 37, I'm 44, so we're 7 years apart. I mean, I don't know. Did you grow up with cell phones? Maybe not. I don't know.
Yeah, I had the cell phone. 2005, we had a flip phone. I had the phones.
So for majority of your life, you didn't have a cell phone. So, like, is it because of like Twitter and Facebook and MySpace and all this stuff they have now, this instant gratification, and I'm famous or I got retweets? Like, how does anybody think they can go right to being a head coach or coordinator without learning first? Like, everybody wants to be the head coach. Like, everybody wants to be a coordinator. I had a guy tell me once, he was getting right out of college. He said, only way I'm gonna go to high school is if I'm the head coach or a coordinator. And I said, dude, you ain't gonna be no coordinator. You just coming out of college. Ain't nobody gonna let you call plays. Like, what would you say to those guys that just want to go right to being the head coach?
Nobody now these days, a lot of guys, nobody want to work for anything. Everybody this thing is supposed to be given to them. Even with the kids, man, you work for a scholarship. People don't understand any offer from a school is a blessing. You know what I'm saying? When you work for something, you feel 10 times better than somebody that's giving you something. You lose quicker. So you can get out the mud when you finally get your opportunity to get to that next level that you wanted, or that the promotion to be a coordinator, you'll be more thankful for it. But once you just somebody just give it to you, or you're not gonna work as hard as you supposed to because you didn't earn it. It just gave it to you.
Yeah. So Coach, anything else that we've left off or we didn't touch on? We've been going an hour, man.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. Is there anything? Because I want to get you back on here to talk about, do that presentation you did at the clinic last year, man.
I got to get back on that, man. The linebacker stuff, man. Sir.
Yeah, we're gonna get you. Is there anything else you want to say, man, before we sign off to anybody?
Man, anything
out there watching?
Anything else? Any coaches in Virginia or North Carolina, anywhere anywhere based in the United States or not? If you got any old lineman, D lineman, man, bring them to Fort Union.
That's a premium.
O line and D line, bring them to Fort Union.
It's where it starts.
Yeah.
Like, man, dude, everybody wants them, don't they? I mean, is there ever a coach that says, no, we don't need any O?
Never. We
don't need any D linemen. Like, what? Like, that's a premium. All these guys that don't want to play line, I mean, they're 6'2". Well, I'm not going to make it to pro football. Well, there's going to be a lot of people that don't make it to pro football, but you can play center, and snap the ball. Like, golly, man.
Yeah, man.
That's something I'm going to tweet that, Coach. Something a coach has never said. We have enough offensive linemen.
Yeah, that's true.
Or I don't want any offensive linemen. We don't need any. Yeah, everybody.
Fort Union is known for O linemen and D linemen.
Yes.
Let's bring them to the school so they can develop and get to that next level.
Heck yeah, Coach. So thank you, Coach. Rat Coach. They have a great weight program at Fort Union. Pretty much, Rat Coach is a program coach that tells the kids what they're doing, when they're doing it, when to stop lifting, when to change. And Coach, it's basically like having Coach Schumann in the weight room, and it's a computer program.
Yeah.
I mean, it's that discipline, man. Some coaches ain't got that discipline and that like structure. Rat Coach gives you that structure. Yes, and I appreciate them supporting the clinic. I appreciate you, Coach. We did an hour, Coach, nonstop, man.
Yes, sir.
Sean, thank you for leaving some comments. Subscribe, like. But we'll get you back on here, Coach. All right,
yes, sir, man.
The linebacker play.
All right, 10-4.
All right, check you later.